Hello and welcome to Crowforest Reviews. Well, no one asked for it, no one wanted it. This is the Star Wars Holiday Special. Actually, on second thought, let's not talk about the Star Wars Holiday Special. Let's talk about the Phantom Menace instead. See? It's not so bad when you put it like that. This is the Phantom Menace. So the movie opens with the classic opening text crawl. Obviously. And then the movie opens proper in space.
As you know, our blockade is perfectly legal.
So a ship lands in the hangar of the doth protest too much perfectly legal blockade, and then not C-3PO escorts our Jedi heroes to the briefing room. As we'll later see, the presence of not C-3PO actually raises a whole lot of plot holes in this movie, but we'll get to that later.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, you say that about everything.
I don't sense anything.
Then you are really bad at your job. We get a brief scene of the obvious villains talking about how obviously villainous they are, and then we cut back to Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, who have apparently been waiting for a while.
I sense an unusual amount of fear for something as trivial as this trade dispute.
Oh, now you sense stuff? Where was that in the last scene? So anyway, the Viceroy decided to kill the Jedi in order to avoid having the awkward confrontation of having made them wait so long. Or something. I'm pretty sure that was it. So Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fight their way out, and they stow aboard invasion ships in order to get back down to Naboo. Oh right, invasion ships. Maybe that's why the Viceroy tried to have them killed.
Senator Palpatine, what's happening?
A communications disruption can mean only one thing. Invasion.
Communications disruption can only mean one thing. Invasion. Or possibly that AT&T dropped our call again. Either way, we're going to war. Either with the Trade Federation or with our internet provider. Grab your pitchforks, people.
Isn't this the Star Wars universe? Shouldn't we have something a little bit cooler than pitchforks?
Right. Make that light pitchforks. The invasion ships land, and a bunch of big-ass floating tanks fly out and start knocking over trees. Rude! And enter Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar shows Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan the way to the Gungan city, which is apparently located that way.
This way. Hurry!
They so took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Jar Jar dives into the lake in the most over-the-top way imaginable, and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan walk gracefully in after him with quiet dignity, using magical harmonicas that allow them to breathe underwater. Cool? That's not a criticism, that's just cool. They reach the Gungan city and phase through the gelatinous force field, which has apparently been set to only hold out water. Convenient. The Gungans tell the Jedi that the fastest way to get to the Naboo is to go through the planet core, which is completely made of water. Also convenient. Hey, wait a minute. So Naboo is the name of the planet, but it's also the name of the humanoid inhabitants of the planet. Damn! No wonder the Gungans are pissed off. That is blatant favoritism. The Gungan ship surfaces, and Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar find themselves in the middle of an already occupied Naboo capital city, with the Viceroy escorting the Queen, now in her black peacock outfit, out of the palace. Hey wait, wasn't she just wearing her other outfit like 2 seconds ago? How did she even have time to change? Pick one ridiculous outfit and stick with it. And then Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan jump down from the rafters and rescue the Queen and her entourage, in what has to be the single most embarrassing rescue ever. Embarrassing for the battle droids, that is. Those guys are worthless. Was that a cut beep? Did these guys even really need the Jedi to rescue them? All it would have taken is for someone to sneeze and the battle droids would all be dead.
Under the circumstances, I suggest you come to Coruscant with us.
My place is with my people.
It will kill you if you stay.
Are we seeing the same battle droids? They wouldn't kill her. They might try. The Queen argues that the Trade Federation won't have her killed because they still need her to sign a peace treaty with them, but Qui-Gon isn't convinced.
My feelings tell me they will destroy you.
Wait, so first you don't sense anything, and then you do sense something, and now you sense the wrong thing. You're completely worthless, aren't you? And now I give you the best scene in the movie.
I'm ambassador to the Supreme Chancellor. I'm taking these people to Coruscant.
Where are you taking them?
To Coruscant.
Where are you taking them?
To Coruscant.
Where are you taking them?
To Coruscant.
Some movies are so easy to turn into feedback loops.
Once they finally break out of the perpetual motion feedback loop of trying to sweet-talk their way past something with all the brains of a rock, they do what they should have done right from the start and just break the droids. It's not like it's that hard.
Title of your sex tape.
After defeating the droids, they steal a ship from the hangar and leave the planet, getting past the blockade with embarrassing ease. That seems to be a theme with this movie. Having sustained some minor damage from their not much of a fight with the blockade, they set down for repairs on Tatooine.
Be wary. I sense a disturbance in the Force.
Your sensing of things has not historically been all that reliable.
I feel it also, Master.
Okay, so we can probably trust that there is in fact a disturbance in the Force this time. I should put that on a t-shirt. Qui-Gon, Jar Jar, and R2-D2 go off to find a replacement hyperdrive, reluctantly agreeing to take Queen Amidala along with them. I mean Padme, not Queen Amidala at all. Totally different people. Crap, I just spoiled it, didn't I? Qui-Gon manages to track down an electronics merchant, and then we get the infamous angel scene. No, not that angel.
Are you an angel?
What?
Hitting on the queen, though he's just 9 and she's 14.
Oh no. Tell me this isn't the kid they're looking for. Anyway, after that awkwardness, Qui-Gon tries to use a Jedi mind trick on the blue insectoid asshole, but it doesn't work.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't!
I'm not sure if that's because blue insectoid is strong with the Force, or just because Qui-Gon is incompetent. Possibly a combination of both. Then Jar Jar gets into trouble, and Space Jesus has to rescue him. What? Those are the real subtitles. A sandstorm blows in, so Anakin takes his new friends to his house to wait it out. And this is where we encounter that plot hole from earlier.
Hello, I am C-3PO.
If Silver C-3PO is one of countless identical protocol droids built by the Trade Federation, then how did some kid on some obscure planet outside of Federation space get the blueprints to build a protocol droid of the exact same model? Back on the ship, they receive a transmission from Naboo.
The death toll is catastrophic.
I could believe that. The death toll among the battle droids is definitely catastrophic.
What if it is true? And the people are dying?
He never said people were dying. The only casualties of this war have been battle droids. And's dignity. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, enjoy this brief pointless cameo by Darth Maul.
Has anybody ever seen a pod race?
And here, at long last, we come to the justification of doing this movie. The pod race. The long, pointless, momentum-killing nothingness that takes up the entire second act of this otherwise reasonably paced movie. And I'm not even exaggerating about that either. The second act is all Tatooine, and 90% of what happens on Tatooine revolves around the pod race. Pretty much from here until they leave is all pod race.
Our ship was damaged and we're stranded here until we can repair it.
I can help. I can fix anything.
Can you fix the plot holes in this movie? Yeah, I didn't think so. So Anakin decides that the only way to help is to win the pod race and give his winnings to Qui-Gon to fix the ship. What's that? There's a game in the middle of this thing that takes up the entire second act, thus putting this movie firmly into my jurisdiction? It's a Christmas miracle! Just kidding, I planned it that way. So Qui-Gon convinces Blue Insectoid to co-sponsor Anakin.
If we win, you keep all the winnings, minus the cost of the parts I mean. And if we lose, you keep my ship. Either way, you win.
I don't think that's how that works.
And There's something about this boy.
Did you audition to play Captain Kirk, but you didn't get the part, so you're here instead? Later, Qui-Gon is talking to Anakin's mother, and he asks her who the father was.
Who was his father?
There was no father. I can't explain what happened.
Yeah, that's code for she had a one-night stand with Jango Fett and doesn't want to admit it. Also, I wasn't kidding about Space Jesus. Then, just to reinforce the Space Jesus thing, Qui-Gon gets a blood sample from Anakin to get a midichlorian count. What? And now the pod race.
And a late entry, young Anakin Skywalker, a Wookiee boy.
Did he say the Wookiee boy? Anakin's a Wookiee now? Well, I guess that's our Life Day connection. I should start all my episodes that way. Announcing His Royal Dumbass, this stupid guy. Now, you might think that since this is my entire justification for doing this movie at all, that I'm going to give a thorough blow-by-blow of the entire pod race. But I don't want to. It's long and boring. In fact, let's just skip to the end, shall we? There, see? That's the length that it should have been in the movie. More movies should use Benny Hill.
He has to complete 2 more circuits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel watching this mess. So, of course, Anakin wins. Wow. Big shock.
Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose.
That's not what he said before.
Either way, you win. Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose. Either way, you win. Whenever you gamble, my friend, eventually you lose.
Consistency! You know has it. So Qui-Gon returns to the ship, taking Anakin with him, but leaving his mother behind. Why? Because he wasn't able to legally free her and it would be wrong to smuggle her away? Fuck that! But oh well, we have a fight scene to get to. Darth Maul overtakes Qui-Gon and Anakin on his floating Scooty Puff Jr., but Anakin manages to avoid getting killed by employing his special power.
Qui-Gon, sir, wait, I'm tired!
Anakin, drop!
People like to complain about this kid's whining, but it just saved his life. That technically makes it a superpower. When people say that this kid is special, this is what they're talking about. He's a wine bender. To be clear, that's a wine bender, not a wine bender. Though a wine bender would also be very cool. So they finally make it to Coruscant, an hour after they were supposed to in movie time. If it wasn't for the padding of Tatooine and the pod race, this movie would only be about 50 minutes long. And it would be better for it. So cut to Queen Amidala in yet another ridiculous outfit. I think Padme's wardrobe is the real star of this movie. Qui-Gon tells the Jedi Council about Space Jesus, and about how he was apparently conceived by the midichlorians. Seriously.
It is possible he was conceived by the midichlorians.
But enough of that. Cut back to the real point of this movie. Yet another queen outfit. You know, it's a shame that she was in that black peacock outfit for the entirety of Tatooine. I would love to see what else she's got in her closet. also, hi, E.T. Meanwhile, in the Jedi Council chamber...
Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Smurfs are the path to the dark side. Smurfs lead to Care Bears. Care Bears lead to Trolls. Trolls lead to Troll 2.
Oh my God!
I sense much fear in you.
The boy is dangerous. They all sense it. Why can't you?
Because he can't sense anything. And here, at last, we finally get an explanation of the Metachlorians.
Midichlorians are a microscopic life form that resides within all living cells, and we are symbionts with them. They continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force.
Right! So apparently, if you think that God talks to you, you're crazy. God doesn't talk to you, he talks to the bacteria inside your blood, and the bacteria relays the message to you. That's just science. Seems a little needlessly complicated.
I don't understand.
No one does.
With time and training, Emmy, you will.
No, he won't. So they leave Coruscant to go back to Naboo, and we get yet another Queen outfit. And it's glorious.
As soon as we land, the Federation will arrest you and force you to sign the treaty.
I can only protect you. I can't fight a war for you.
Well, you don't really need to. Have you forgotten how worthless the battle droids are?
You're a much wiser man than I am.
Jar Jar is a much wiser man than you are. So Queen Amidala goes to the Gungan leader to ask for help, and she's wearing yet another ridiculous getup. And the Gungan leader is so entranced by the sheer ridiculousness of it all that he agrees.
We will send what pilots we have to knock out the droid control ship orbiting the planet.
A well-conceived plan.
Yeah, for a very ill-conceived droid system. They're all controlled remotely? Seriously, what kind of sense does that make? On the Gungan front, they set up a shield to protect them from tank fire, but it doesn't prevent battle droids from walking through and shooting after. That seems like a bit of a design flaw. And for that matter, why couldn't the droids just drive the tanks through and shoot after? For reasons. Back with the others, Darth Maul ambushes Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and we get a truly incredible lightsaber battle, which I will now put to Christmas music. Because Christmas. Meanwhile, Anakin proceeds to stay in that cockpit as instructed.
You can stay where you are. Stay in that cockpit.
Qui-Gon told me to stay in this cockpit, so that's what I'm gonna do.
I don't think that's what he meant. If you mute the audio, it's not a bad sequence. You can even imagine your own dialogue over it instead of the trite that George Lucas wrote.
Now this is pod racing.
Meanwhile, Jar Jar proves his military strategy through his clever use of dumb skill. And then, sadly, and also inevitably, Qui-Gon is killed. Oh no! He had just 2 weeks left until retirement! Obi-Wan is pissed off about the death of his master, and he manages to destroy one of Darth Maul's lightsaber blades before getting tossed off the ledge. Meanwhile, Anakin accidentally destroys the droid control ship. Queen Amidala retakes the throne room, and the Gungans easily push over the now powerless battle droids. And encouraged by the victories of his companions, or something, Obi-Wan jumps up and slices Darth Maul in half with Qui-Gon's lightsaber, defying every law of physics to do so. And so, the movie ends with a big celebration as the Gungans and the Naboo celebrate their newfound peace and friendship. And we get one final Queen outfit, bringing her total to 7. Unless you count Padme's outfits, but those weren't nearly as ridiculous, so why count them? So that was Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. How was it? I realize that this is an unpopular opinion, but I love this movie. At its best, it's an interesting story, and at its worst, it's campy fun. So while this movie might not be all that good, it is enjoyable. Well, that's all for now. Until next time, seeing as how it's Christmas, have a real Star Wars holiday special.